You could come out of the dock with a boat, and the first wharf out of the dock would be A1 Woodward, and that was both sides of Johnson's Lock, and that would be called a short shoot. The next one would be Mile End to the Timber Wharf there. Then you've got Feather Wharf and Harmers above Mile End. Then you'd have stuff for Hertford Union that went from Harmer to Palmer's down in Hertford Union. Timber, this is. Or you would take Timber Bowl. You could come out of the dock with a boat, and the first wharf and you would deliver them would be A1 Woodworkers. And that was both sides of Johnson's. You could come out of the dock with, and that would be called a short shoot. And the next one would be out of the dock would be A1 would deliver opposite to the timber, and that was both sides of Johnson's Lock. Then you got, and that would be called a short shoot. The next one would be above Mile End, which would sink into the timber wharf. Then you'd have. So you'd only get then you've got stuff for Hertford. You can come out of the dock to Palmer's down in Hertford. And the first wharf out of the dock would be A1 Woodward, or you would take Timber and Bowl, that was both sides of Johnson's Lock, and that would be called a short shoot. The next one would be Mile End.
Regent's Canal, where the worst thing that might happen is that you are mowed down by a banker on their bike who is late for work.
Or a jogger running while staring at their mobile phone.
Or a clutch of parents with prams. Light tanks can meet you in a solid and breakable line.
But in the Victorian age it was very, very different.
Not leisure or pleasure on the towpath. It was used to carry cargo from far away.
Anything you fancied from the British Empire came up from Limehouse Basin on the Thames, along the canals, and went all over the country.
Goods taken from all over the world, without thinking about the consequences, without thinking about if it was fair to take.
Ivory, spices, marble, mahogany, wooden things that go bang in the night.
This is the first ever bomb disposal expert. Major Sir Vivian Daring Magende, the Royal Artillery Inspector of Gunpowder Works, for Queen Victoria.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honour to furnish the following report on the explosion of gunpowder, which occurred on one of the canals in Regent's Canal, on the 2nd October 1874, by which 3 lives were lost.
Apparently, because of the explosion, fish rained down on Islington.
Apparently, they didn't actually land on Islington, but dead fish did hit the West End.
Whoever let specifics are in a good story. #fake news.
This story is true though. Apparently it happened at night, which is why fish landed on the streets and not on people.
Could have been any time of day during lockdown and no one would have got fish on them.
Yeah. Streets are so quiet. This story is good though. Gruesome, scary, and...
If I may, as I was saying, I was thus enabled to examine the scene and neighbourhood of the explosion within a few hours of its occurrence.
Major, could you loosen up a bit? Give us a one-line version, more or less?
Loosen up?
Relax, man.
You do not relax about explosives.
I suppose not. I bet it caused a stir-up, though, this event.
I bet there was a crowd. We miss crowds.
Speaking of, we should get the others.
I put the invite on my story.
Oh, here they are.
Hiya! Hiya, guys! How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Guys. You hear about the fish?
Have you looked on Twitter? The fish is everywhere.
This story's everywhere. Here I am in my pajamas, blown out of bed I was.
This tweet says I've got no windows in my house.
My grandma died of fright. No, that must be a figure of speech, right?
The animals in the zoo bellowed and screamed. Some had to be shot, they were so scared.
Oh, that's not right.
My restaurant near Air Arms, the roof's come in.
Oh, I know that place. My parents went there.
We heard the bang 20 miles away.
From 20 miles away.
The Langham Hotel has had its windows shattered.
Oh, poor lords and ladies, woken out of bed they was.
I still don't get it.
Neither. What caused it? What caused the fish to rain down on London?
What happened? What blew up?
It doesn't say.
I can't find anything online.
If I may, it was a mishap.
Mishap schmishap.
It was a mishap. This sorry tale begins in Islington, at the City Road Basin where the boat in question was loading, alongside 4 others. Watch carefully. There were 6 boats in all, and there were 3 crew on each, separated by 20 yards of rope apiece.
Alright. Give me your names and roles in this mishap. This is not some small explosion.
My name is Francis Clark, the skipper of the tugboat. That night we were pulling 5 70-foot-long cargo boats.
And part of your cargo was gunpowder?
Yes. The gunpowder aboard was to blast quarries.
I'm skipper Regent. We had gunpowder aboard.
I'm skipper of the D. We had gunpowder and petroleum.
Skipper of the Tilbury, gunpowder and petroleum.
So skipper of Limehouse, gunpowder and petroleum.
Skipper of the Hawksby, gunpowder and petroleum.
Other than that, what goods were you carrying?
Sugar, walnuts, that type of thing.
And the explosives?
Well,
there are rules, aren't there?
Well, you know companies.
We all know companies.
Profit before lives. You Tilbury, what occurred?
we've done these tricks before and nothing happened. But this night, there was a small explosion aboard my boat and a bursting core of blue flame. Up ahead of us on the D, the captain calls out to us.
Tilbury, something's gone off on your boat, I said.
Yes, and very nearly blown up the hatches already. Stop her, please, I replied.
All done. Stopped.
Go ahead, steady.
Sure?
Go ahead.
All safe?
Yes, go ahead.
Ready, what happened on your boats?
The cargo was packed in tight. Gunpowder at one end and petroleum at the other. So as they didn't come into contact.
But they did. Petroleum is a spirit, not an oil. An oil would have stayed in this bowl, but this spirit wandered through the air and wrapped itself around the explosive.
Yes, somebody lit a match and within a whisper 5 tons of gunpowder exploded.
Limehouse was completely sunk.
That's right, they was completely sunk.
That's right, we was completely sunk.
Thank you, that will be all for now.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's never happened now, right?
I got the Explosives Act of 1875 passed.
Nice. Now Macclesfield Bridge will forever be known as Blow Up Bridge.
And it was the last time fish rained down on London town.
Welcome back. There was chaos down at the canals today as rising temperatures saw the queues for ice cream grow. Workers and students alike were fighting to get a cone. Ice cream mogul and Swiss millionaire Carlo Gatti will be raking it in today.
Absolutely, Gerald. Absolutely. This just in, I don't believe it. This is coming live to me now. A worker at the Gatti's Ice Factory has fallen to their death after slipping and falling into the ice pit.
Ouch, that's a nasty way to go, Francis.
Absolutely, Gerald. Absolutely. It's chaos down there apparently, and at the canal as word of the accident is spreading.
We go live to the scene now. Take a look at this.
We're workers. We move stuff around.
Bale look. Yeah, Bale looks good. You can do anything with a Bale look. Dockers looks better though. Ice look.
Anyway, I'm carrying sacks of coals, sacks of grains, sacks of wools and spices. Off the boats, chuck them onto the docks, and up the canal they go.
I'm a dreamer. The water's dirty, but I love the romance of the canal.
Me too! I love the canal!
I sell pennilets, all flavours. It's been crazy today, like so hot. Most of the time, I wash up the cups in the canal. The ice actually comes from the frozen Regent's Canal in winter.
The barges make life beautiful in the canal, and the ice cream.
Yum ice cream!
Lemon sorbet, dark chocolate, vanilla with double cream.
We also handle vanilla pods. Send them over to Carlo Gatti for his ice cream. For that, you need clean ice from Norway.
It seemed an incredible idea, shipping ice up the canals, and the profits, oh. In my homeland of Switzerland, we dig pits in the glaciers and store goods in them. It gave me the idea. So yes, I built ice pits 12 meters deep, 10 meters wide, and filled it with Norwegian ice. Of course, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, we worked on the Gatti for a bit as well. Frostbite all over our fingers. Ice. I was there when it happened. When the man fell.
Me? Nah, I didn't see it. I was on break actually, getting an ice cream. Ironic.
It was horrible. He slipped and he toppled into the pit. There was blood all over the ice.
Raspberry ice, pink and red swirl. Oh.
And strawberry.
My ice cream is pure.
Poor guy. Horrible business. What's more, your ice cream is only pure if you're a toff. Us lot, we still have canal filtered ice going for our stuff.
I just sell what they give me. Is that my fault? Those toffs don't buy their penny licks from me, that's for sure.
Lady Margaret Ponsonbury Farty had lovely cherry ice.
Oh, and Lord Spivington Crumbly had an ice sculpture in the shape of a horse.
Class war it is.
Our mate was killed.
And did you hear about the accident?
Oh yes, I heard about that poor man who fell. Horrible business.
Oh yes, just tragic. Her Majesty is rumored to love Gatti's pineapple whippy.
One day this will all be ancient history, you know. Isn't life funny like that?
I will be so old.
I give people what they want.
This just in. Swiss millionaire Carlo Gatti's antics have been banned by Parliament today. 1875. It's a new world.
Absolutely, Gerald. Absolutely. Apparently, canal water, ice, and therefore ice cream is said to contain lice, bedbugs, fleas, straw, human hair, cat hair, dog hair.
Well, that's ruined my summer fun, Francis.
Absolutely. Diphtheria, scarlet fever, enteric fever, diarrhea. Ugh.
This is the olden times after all, Francis. 1875, you know.
Then how are we here?
It's just water. I mean, people say, oh, it's calming. I don't find it calming. You know, it's nothing special about it. Look, it's just because it's the canal or the sea. You know, you go down to the beach. You don't go down and say, oh, I'm going to look at the pebbles. You want to see. You want to see the sea. And I suppose it's the same with this.
I think the thing was set up very much with the idea of, children messing about in boats, wind in the willows, Crystal Howell looking out the window and saying, why aren't the children playing on that water? And it's very much thought of as an adventure playground on water, really. I mean, we definitely took the safety of children as important, but it was very much letting them on the water. They would paddle about with each other and on their own and explore the basin, with us sort of involved and chatting and encouraging and patrolling.
Our family has a long association with the canal. My mother was born in Ada Street, just off the Broadway Market by the Captain Mutton Bridge. Mum told me that her dad, who was a real drinker, when he used to get drunk, he drank in the Waterscott pub, would tie his hanky around his waist as a lifebelt and dive into the canal off the bridge. I imagine that he did jump in, but I can't believe the hanky went around his waist, unless it was really large hanky or he was really small. My dad ended up running the pre-assembly line for gas ovens at the Burnham Street, which is on the old gasworks site by the canal. I remember when I was about 7, that was in 1959, that he began coming home with brown paper parcels under his arm. We only lived about 10 minutes walk away.
Because we lived at the flats, the old flats of Copenhagen Street, we would only just walk down the hill and it would bring you down to Preedy House, Carnegie Street, and that was the entrance there, so 5 minutes. So that's where Dad would bring us with the bamboo rods with the little nets that he'd buy from the oil shop at Pentonville Road. And we'd get tadpoles, I think, so it was a big palaver with sandwiches. Would you believe it was 5 minutes from the house, but in your mind, all these things, it was a big thing. And it was wonderful, and I thought, and then, like people say, little things please children, obviously.
Go over to Haggerston, to where the shops were, the Haggerston shops. I used to go over the bridge, but I was fascinated by the canal. I used to see this stretch of water that runs along, and I was never allowed to go there. It was only later on in life, later on in life, maybe like 9 or 10, that I actually used to skulk off with friends and go down by the canal, and I was fascinated by it. I used to see people fishing, and obviously, as time went on, we used to fish in the canal, and I was absolutely useless. I don't think I ever caught anything, and on occasions I used to jump in and have a swim around.
This time of night, there would be people working over there. Some of the factories there was 24/7. Like the brewery and that. They'd be working, so you'd get the noise of that. Now, so I can hear is ding ding for the bikes. Ding ding. I mean, we've got an estate there that I was brought up on. It's coming down. So all the people they've lived there for years, have been put elsewhere.
From my bedroom window, to my left, I could see Thorley's, the cattle food factory. They produced this cattle food, and we called them, I don't know what they were, but we called them locusts. And it was hard black material on the outside, but soft material on the inside, which they used to feed to the horses. And me, being the best swimmer, I used to swim across, and I used to throw the locust over to the other boys, and you used to hear them shout, "Here, Fred, here, Fred." And one day I heard a deep voice say, "Here, Fred," and it was my dad, and I got a real good telling off. In them days, nobody was ever allowed on that canal bank, and it was patrolled by a policeman on a bike. Nobody knew what his name was, but we all knew him as Long Tom. And when he first came onto the canal from Caledonian Road Bridge, we could see him, and if we were fishing or swimming, we had time to climb over the wall and get away from him. But even if he caught us, I'm sure he wouldn't have done anything, just told us off, because there's no point in prosecuting or fining us, because nobody had any money anyway.
Hi.
Hi guys. So no one else got an ice cream then?
Think about all the stuff Gatti put in it.
My mum took me to the ice wells. They're still there.
I know. I wish I could know what it was like back then.
Things they used to do that aren't in history books.
Like jumping over walls and getting into the canals to swim in it.
Or making planks of wood from the mills and setting them up so you can have races across the canal.
Or horses, big strong horses.
Yeah, but they were no use in the tunnel.
No, you had to leg it.
Leg it?
Yeah, lie back on the boat and walk on the walls.
Guys, I just found a tunnel. I'm going in.
Dot, be careful. Dot?
I'm scared of the dark.
Oh, you're not helping, Ben. It's creepy in here.
It's a long tunnel.
I'm using Find My Friends. Okay, Dot? I found you. It's 880 meters. Wow.
It stinks of sulphur and has cobwebs.
I hate cobwebs.
It'll be clean on the other side. Don't panic, Dot.
Hey, your video's coming back, Dot. We can see you.
Why is your feed in black and white?
Is it?
What's going on? Why does it look different from here?
You could come out of the dock with a boat, and the first wharf out of the dock would be A1 Woodwall, and that was both sides of Johnson's Lock.
I know why I'm in black and white, I think. This is mad. I think I'm in 1952.
Shut up.
Stop it.
Whoa. If it really is 1952, you could dive in and go for a swim.
What about the bugs?
I ain't diving in there, no way.
So, is it like 2020 here and the 1950s on the other side of Dot's tunnel?
It's quiet here. There's no traffic. I like it.
No traffic here right now. Oh, wait, Wi-Fi.
No signal. Nothing.
Then how are you still calling
I
us?
don't get it.
No computer games.
No central heating.
I still like it. It's different.
Oh, guys, I've got to go. I've got a maths test.
Better be going home.
How do I do that?
Find a hole in the tunnel.
Okay. Okay, I'm running.
Look, her colour's back.
Oh, we can see you.
I'm back. There's a guy over there with an Apple Watch, so I'm back.
What was that? Reckon we dreamed it?
Must have. Lockdown finally getting to us.
Yeah. Totally.
You could come out of the dock with a boat, and the first wharf out of the dock would be A1 Woodwall, and that was both sides of Johnson's Lock, and that would be called a short shoot. The next one would be Mile End to the Timber Wharf there. Then you've got Feather Wharf and Harmers above Mile End. Then you'd have stuff for Hertford Union that went from Harmer to Palmer's down in Hertford Union. Timber, this is. Or you would take timber bowls. You could come out of the dock with complete trunks. And the first wharf out of the dock would be A1 Woodwall. And that was both sides of Johnson's Lock. And that would be called a short shoot. You could come out of the dock with a boat. The next one would be Mile End. And the first wharf out of the timber would be A1 Woodwall. Then you've got Feather Wharf and Harmers above Mile End. And there was a coal wharf on the outside. It stopped delivering coal some time back, but it was still there.
It's just water.